How many of you live on farms? Super.
Grain farmers? Yeah?
Cattle, like that?
Yeah, cattle?
Okay, great.
You're going to get this son.
My name's Sherry Grant. I'm a beef producer from south of the Swift Current. And I'm also a home economist. This is Catherine Andre. They also raise cattle in that Valbury area. So we're going to be talking today about food for the next 10 minutes. We're going to talk about what we eat, why we eat, and specifically a little bit more about proteins. So, why do you think we eat food? So we grow up, yeah. What else do we eat?
So you can live.
To live. Absolutely. What else? Energy. Absolutely. Yeah. Yes.
Because we're hungry.
Because we're hungry. Yeah, totally.
Because it's delicious.
And it tastes good. Yes. Yes, absolutely. So we eat food for all these reasons. We get energy for activity, for growth, all the functions of life. We're breathing. We need energy to breathe. We need energy to digest what we're eating, to keep us warm. Everything we do really boils down to the energy. So, the question is, what should we eat to get the results we want? So, do we want to be like a high-performance engine? We want high-performance fuel, right? Do we want to be a high-performance athlete? We need high-performance fuel. Do we want to learn easily, do well on all the questions the teacher asks? We need high-performance fuel to do that, right? So the Canada Food Guide talks about three main big areas, macronutrients they're referred to. And it's fats, carbohydrates, and proteins. Of course, there's lots of micro or small nutrients as well. And the expectation is that we're going to get most of those if we do a good job of choosing a variety from that plate. So today, we're going to focus on that protein corner of the plate. We're going to talk more about protein choices. So what do you think would be a really great source of protein for you? Yeah, beef, yes. Eggs, yes. Beans, sure. Any other ideas? Yeah, vegetables will have some protein, but not very much. They're not going to be those protein champions. They're going to be giving us other nutrients. Any other ideas? Fish, absolutely. So when we take a look at this, we've got things like chicken, beef, pork, fish, eggs, beans, lentils, dairy products. All of those are awesome sources of protein. And what happens if you don't get enough protein?
Yep.
You get skinny?
Skinny? Yeah, maybe.
You don't have enough energy?
Depends. You often won't have enough energy, yes. What about muscles?
You won't get enough.
Yeah, you have muscle building blocks, right?
You don't have enough stamina.
Exactly. That's the first time somebody's mentioned stamina. That's exactly right. Protein is part of the stamina piece. So we also need it for our immune system to stay healthy. We also need protein to build those muscles that work smoothly so that we can hit the volleyball instead of miss it. So that when we jump, we actually make contact. And protein is something that we don't have a reservoir for. So it's not like we can eat protein on the first of the month and then it's good for the month, right? We need protein every day. Our body needs to use it in everything it's doing. So protein is represented by a wide variety, and we've talked about some of these sources of protein. They all have protein, but they also have other things. And so we say that the protein sources are not created equal. They all have value, but they're not equal. So if we think about dairy products and protein, dairy has a great source of calcium. If we think about beef, it's an iron champion. If we're looking at nuts and seeds, they have magnesium, they have fiber. All of the meat proteins, animal proteins, have vitamin B12 and plants do not. Whereas all those plant proteins have more fiber. So we need them both. So then the question is, what do I choose? Why do I choose? So remember, what kind of an engine are we trying to fuel here? Are we trying to fuel a high-performance engine, or do we just want it to be like a putt? A few little misses here and there, you know, just barely functioning. What kind of an engine do we want? So I'm going to introduce Catherine Andre. She's a grade 9 student. She's been studying more about Canada's Food Guide, and she's going to share some of the things she's learned.
So I started studying the Canada Food Guide and found out way more than I never even would have imagined. I started studying the Canada Food Guide when I was about your guys' age. You guys are all grade 7s, right? And so that I was able to learn more and go dig deeper into what I was actually learning. I was able to use my Unit 1 Health 9 project to be able to get this opportunity to come here to Yorkton to be able to share here with you guys here today. As you can see, there are 3 sections of that plate. Half of the plate is fruits and vegetables, a quarter is proteins, and the other quarter is whole grains. So, who here all eats all sections of that plate? Fruits and vegetables, beef, and bread. Boys in the back? Nobody?
Wow.
Sometimes.
Honesty in the back row.
So I made a placemat, and just to show what I learned, to be able to hand that in to a teacher. And so when thinking about that, I was learning way more and wrote down a couple of things, but I've been thinking lots more on what I've been eating when eating out, what I've been choosing. I've been choosing way more carefully. Lots of these restaurants are deep fried, not really healthy for us, right, and processed. I've reduced my snacking. I more often have those 3 main meals now. And it gets, with lots of variety, so it gets me through the day and I last till lunchtime because teachers don't really like us snacking during class, right? Not paying attention. And I more often have breakfast. I'm guilty of it. Never had breakfast really, but I more often do have protein so that I can last. I only choose to eat out when a home-cooked meal is not possible. So I'm in a hotel here staying in Yorkton, and so I've been really focusing on making sure I'm choosing the right things for my body so I can last throughout the day. I enjoy my food by eating each of those food groups individually. That's my personal choice. Not everybody eats that way. Everybody eats differently, right? I love when my food is freshly made, and I love to try new spices and foods all the time. So I have 3 siblings, so I always have someone to eat with. Always. I don't think I ever go a time without eating with someone unless I'm home alone, right? And learning about the Canada Food Guide didn't change that. The Canada Food Guide, the new updated version, January of 2019 it was updated, they actually recommend to be eating with other people because it makes it more enjoyable. So when looking up, how many of you guys eat with your families? Like mostly all the time, yeah? Awesome. So when looking up my dietary requirements, because I've been just trying to figure things out on what I've been eating lately. And so I'm a cattle producer, so I obviously eat at least 1 meal every day that has beef in it, guaranteed. Probably even all 3 meals some days, because it just depends. I guess some of you guys can see one guy shaking his head back there, yeah, probably. So beef has a lot of protein, zinc, and B12, and so having that beef made it really, really easy for me to meet those requirements and made it super, super easy. When it came to iron, I'm a girl 14 to 18 years old. I need 15 milligrams of iron. Do you guys know how hard it is to get iron? It is super, super hard. I didn't know how hard it was until I studied this. It is super hard. Beef does have iron, but I can't always be eating beef all the time to meet that requirement, so I had to find something else. So in my diet, I looked at other things that did have iron in it. As you can see, how many have only point something? There's about 3 up there. That is less than a milligram. You need to be eating a lot of food to make that 15 milligrams up. It's really, really difficult. So what I found was that I need to find something else to snack on. Not always be snacking, don't get me wrong, no always be snacking. We gotta find other alternatives to get that iron up. Oysters, who here likes oysters? Yeah? Great source of iron. Great source of iron. They're awesome. Who here plays sports? Everybody? Here's your volleyball snack for next year. Got it right for you. Who here likes pumpkin seeds? I love pumpkin seeds. They're awesome. They are also a great source of iron. This is also your next volleyball snack for next year. I got you all planned out now. So for girls and boys your age, 9 to 13, you guys need 8 milligrams of iron. That is still a lot of iron to get in. How many of you guys think you've made that requirement each day? No? Yeah? No? Yeah, maybe a little bit? Don't really know, right? Until you figure it out. When you get older, girls, you go up a lot. 7 milligrams, you increase. We're getting bigger, right? We need that energy. We need to make sure we're getting in our iron. And 15 milligrams is only our minimum. That's not even a maximum. That's a minimum. Boys, 14 to 18, 11 milligrams. You're still going up a lot. You need that energy to be able to be strong, right? You need to be able to play those sports. So you need your iron, guys. It is really hard to get it in, and you need to get it in, and that's how you're going to get your iron. So.
Yeah, so just recognizing that you have to actually choose some of those iron-rich sources to supplement your regular daily choices, and that variety is so important. So thanks, Catherine. And no other food beats meat when it comes to protein, quantity, and quality. So if we said, okay, so today instead of having meat for my protein, I'd like to maybe have peanut butter, right? Today we're going to have peanut butter. So to get 26 grams of protein, which you get in 1 serving of beef, you need 7 tablespoons of peanut butter.
So you're obviously going to be eating a lot more by eating peanut butter than you would be by eating beef.
If you wanted to choose black beans, for example, to get that amount of protein, you would need 2 cups of black beans to get that amount of protein. I know what you guys, that's a lot of beans. So a serving of beef or turkey or chicken or pork or any of the meats will get you that protein in a smaller amount of food. It'll be easier to manage. But we still need a variety. It doesn't mean we're just going to choose one of those, because remember, they're all bringing us different things. Meats are complete proteins. They have all of the amino acids, so that means they've got all the building blocks that we need. Whereas plant proteins only have some of them. So we have to be a lot more careful about how we're choosing and planning our meals to combine the plants to get all the amino acids that we actually need and all those building blocks. So when we look at this healthy plate, it's not about one protein over the other. It's about choosing your combinations of protein so that we get that high performance fuel that we want to create that high performance result. Okay? So something called food synergy is when you combine different sources of protein and you actually get more benefits that way. So if you combine beef with plant sources of protein, you'll actually get 150% more iron from the plants. So remember how important we said iron is? Yeah. So this is really valuable when it comes to being able to choose what we eat to get the results that we want. So what about beef in the environment? For the people here that raise beef, we understand that when those cattle are out grazing the land, they're doing good things for the grassland. They're contributing to the conservation of that grassland and also to the ecosystem where we have endangered species living. Native grasslands, like those found here in the prairies, are one of the most endangered ecosystems in the world, even more endangered than the rainforests. And so every time those ecosystems get destroyed by plowing the grasslands, we lose that ecosystem for those endangered species. And it's continuing to be lost. And we're continuing to lose those species. Does everyone here know what a ruminant is? No? No. Okay, so just quick. A ruminant is a herbivore with a 4-compartment stomach, a digestive system. We're omnivores with 1 compartment. So that means that ruminants, like cattle or bison, can eat the grass. They can eat that grain that we couldn't harvest this year, that's out there that isn't going to make human food. And they can convert it. They can get energy from that. They can grow muscles. And those mussels are the meat that we eat. That's that high quality protein that we're eating. Kind of like magic, right? So, ruminant over here, eating those foods, building energy, building muscles. Boom. High quality beef. Yummy, yummy. See the grass, smell the beef. It's a great deal. So they're what's called upcyclers. So they take foods that we can't use, grown on land that won't grow food for us, and they turn it into that high quality protein, nutrient dense, that tastes yummy. That's really good for our engine, because remember, we want to fuel that high performance engine. So cattle also help the environment, like you guys help the environment. Who here has lawns or grass that they mow to keep green? Yeah, basically everybody, right? Almost everybody. We don't always do the mowing. So when we keep that grass green, we're benefiting the carbon cycle. You guys studied the carbon cycle? Yes, perfect. So that's what the cattle are doing on the land. They're grazing the grass or having a bite of the grass. They're keeping the grass healthy, keeping the grass growing. They're also recycling nutrients back onto the land, so the manure goes back on the land. And we don't even have to put gas in their engines, like we do the lawnmower. So, pretty cool, because they're contributing to that carbon cycle as well. So the goal of Canada's Food Guide then is to encourage us to eat a variety of healthy foods every day, and to recognize that having meat with our meal means we're more likely to eat fruits and vegetables too. Does anybody here know what would happen if we put sugar into the fuel tank of our car? Yes.
It will stop running. Or because the sugar puts the piston.
Yeah. It'll destroy the engine basically, won't it? Yeah. If you put sugar in the fuel and you put it in the fuel tank of your car,
Like you pour the sugar in your gas tank.
yeah, you won't have a vehicle because it'll destroy the engine. Pardon me? It'll blow the motor. Yeah. What do you think happens when you put sugar into your fuel tank? It's not good for your motor either. POC, same thing, because POC is full of sugar. So anything that you have that has sugar in it is not good for your engine. The Canada Food Guide would say water is the drink of choice, or milk. So what we want to think about is, if we want that high performance engine, we want to be that high performance athlete, it starts with what we're putting in our engine, what we're putting in our fuel tank. So, make healthy choices, choose the foods that best fuel your body, and go forth and be awesome.
Questions?